Oof.
He just said not right now, so he didn't say if we'll be able to soon. So, last we left off, you guys have been searching down some leads on a ship that could possibly take you to Corellia. You guys split up and checked different areas. You met back together and decided to check out one of the hangars that had a ship. Take you there. When you guys arrived, the hangar was empty and ship was gone and a bunch of Trandoshan dead bodies. As you were hunting down a bounty to get money to hire a ship. The local security came in right after you did, as they had found out that you were disguised as security, and a fight ensued, along with some arguments. You guys were able to put down all the guards non-lethally and disable the alarm in the spaceport in the hangar. And the ship that was here, you also found out, had been carrying captives. And we ended right as you guys had turned off the alarm, I think, and downed all of the security.
Yeah, security reinforcements came in, we bluffed them away.
Right.
And now we were about to exit via the other hatch that leads outside.
Which hatch?
Let's see, if this was the main door we used to enter for like personnel.
Right.
We were gonna get this one right here.
There is no. So I think, yeah, I had to clarify that last time. There's no other door. There's the door from the entrance hallway that you guys came in, and the only other way in or out is the hangar door for ships to come in and out, which is on the opposite side of the door you came in. Where they bring cargo in and out, because you're on the second floor, it has to go down the hall where you guys came in, downstairs, and then out through, cargo area on the first level.
Man, we still need 10k.
Right.
So we have 16 Wookiees.
Right.
And we actually need money.
I thought of a new way to roll.
So, what I'm thinking, if they brought the Wookiee on the station, they want to sell them. Okay? So, if we find someone who wants to buy the Wookiees, we can arrange some deal, take the money, kill the slaver, and free the Wookiee. So we have the money to escape. And killing some slavers, so.
And putting a big old target on our heads because slavers don't do everything without documentation.
What are your guys' passive perception?
I think it's 15, mine. Let me check.
13.
14.
13 for Chaser.
Both of you go ahead and roll a perception check.
D20.
20. So total of 8.
I rolled a 2, so it was the 2 plus the 13, right?
No, it's the 2 plus 3.
2 plus 3, so 5 for me.
Okay, neither of you guys notice anything.
Nice.
Not nice.
So we find 10,000.
Wasn't there like data pads on the container doors about where they were being shipped to?
So as you're having this discussion, somehow both of you missed small, medium-sized figure walk up to you, like standing like right next to you, hooded figure. You can't see any details on the face or really anything on the individual at all. And you hear, it sounds like a female voice, and says, "You need money, you say?"
Yeah. We need some money. That's exactly the point.
What exactly do you need money for?
We need to leave this place.
Oh?
So we need money to pay someone to make us leave.
You can just oh man, I'm just face palming right now, just as I'm listening to him talk. This was an unfruitful distraction. We have a target elsewhere. That's our main priority. Due to that, we need more funds. This little side trip proved to be unprofitable and put us in a little deficit.
You're saying this out loud?
Yeah, just like not like out loud, but more like say grumbling to where they just barely pick it up.
Okay. She speaks up again and says, "I'm surprised you would leave the planet without your friend."
What have you done to Manu?
What have you done to what?
What have you done to our friends?
She says, "I didn't do anything. It was the two thugs following him and their friends."
big face palm. Out of character, by the way.
We can discuss this further. We need to get you out of here. He's safe. For now.
Okay. Let's go away. Let's go rescue.
And she says, "How about your new friends?" Gesturing at the Wookiees.
All we've
They
done
are
is all we've done is give them a chance. What they do next is purely in their hands.
Well, they're not going to last very long on this planet. If it's just them. We could... I assume you're new to this. What we could do is throw them back in a container, unchained, and use one of these cargo haulers to drive the container out of here.
Okay, we can
It'll
do
cause
this.
less suspicion.
Okay. So I'll start grabbing the guards and moving in another containers.
She says, I'll keep a lookout.
Mhm.
One of you go find a cargo hauler, the other see if you can get them into one of these containers. I don't know how willing they're going to be.
Alright, well, since Kiramun wants to be the talkative boy, I'll let you talk him into it. So, are we still like with the display in our like disguises without a?
Yeah. You're still in your disguises.
Okay.
You guys had said you had gotten out of them, so I assume you're still in them.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
We still had a techie guy with us, right? He was one of the ones that got stunned in this little firefight.
Yeah, it's this one.
Which one? The scientist?
Yes.
Alright, so I walk over to the scientist. I start digging into his pockets to pull out whatever equipment necessary to operate their lifts.
No, it doesn't seem like any of the security guys or the front desk guy has any keys or anything for any kind of lift or anything.
No.
You guys did see different cargo lifts or cargo haulers. You know, they're kind of basically like Star Wars forklifts. You know, different places throughout the hallway. You know, parked on the first floor and the second floor, and in the cargo area that you guys came in at.
In that case, what if I find the most senior of the security personnel and take their ID cards? Their passes, so I can badge through things.
Yeah, none of the security personnel have, you know, obviously it looks like these guys don't have any kind of, yeah, the tech guy that lets you in isn't here. You know, he ran off. Early, you know, when you guys first got in here, and none of these security personnel seem to have any kind of operating key card or anything that looks like it operates any kind of vehicle.
That's just retarded. How else is security supposed to get around? I mean, the most senior personnel.
It's a building, so it doesn't seem like they have vehicles inside this building, other than the cargo haulers, which the security doesn't seem to man.
What I meant, no, it's.
I'm
Sorry,
not sure what you're asking.
I work security for a living, so I know that a lot of facilities have specific doorways that are locked that require something to access, a key, a badge.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like trying to access the cargo haulers.
No, but it's.
Oh yeah, they have key cards on them.
They have key. Yes, that's what I'm going. I'm going after their key cards so I can use their access points.
Okay.
And because I am in disguise, they won't know better. And if I remember correctly, our disguises were actually rather perfect. Unless somebody opens up their mouth. Glares at Kiramund.
I didn't talk about that. Not yet.
So yeah, you find a key card easily enough. Bodies.
Yeah, I'll sort through the key cards to find the one with the most senior access.
Yeah, so it would be the guy from the front desk who's doing most of the talking.
Oh, it'd be awkward for his ID to show up on a security guard, so I could look for the most senior security personnel's card. They can't access as much as probably somebody who from the main. Actually, they should be able to access more than a front desk guy. Because I know from, like, to be honest, from real world experience, I can access everywhere with my own access card, and I'm almost bottom of the barrel pretty much.
Yeah, but this is like a cartel spaceport, so they run things a little bit different. I mean, your logic is sound.
Alright, so in this case, I'll take the most senior guards and the front desks, just in case.
So the guy at the front desk, from what you could tell, so I'll break it down to this. So from what you can tell, everything you put together, the guy at the front desk that came up isn't just your average front desk attendant. He's not just a receptionist. It's obvious that he's probably worked at this place for a while, maybe as a security guard. Maybe he's got a little bit of pull, and seniority on everyone else. Because you're able to do with your tech expertise that your character has, that his card probably gets you more access than the security guards.
Yeah, but I take the lead security guards as a cover. Misdirection, deception, come on.
Okay. All the other security guards, they have the same card. There's no, of the security that's here, none of them seem to be any senior than the others. So there isn't like a shift lead or
team lead.
Yeah, they seem to all just be among the same rank.
No wonder we got away with what we did so easily. Oh, well, I still need one for camouflage. That way they see security guard, security card, not security guard front desk card.
Okay. And what are you doing?
And then I go start looking for a lift to try and move the crate.
You look left and right, and you see one down at the other hall to the left. Down the hall to the left.
Alright, so because the security guards themselves are out of the way, I'll go through and start making my way there, keeping an eye out for any techs that I see. Because security still overrules techs, right?
Yeah.
Especially with cartel, I can pull muscle and make them do what I want. Within a matter of speaking.
So you see two guys, Rhodians, talking near a cargo lift and a bunch of containers, both bigger and smaller, of all sizes, basically stacked up against the wall at the end of the hall. And there seems to be two techs just kind of talking about, as you get closer, start approaching them. Actually, what languages do you speak?
I don't speak Rhodian.
Okay, yeah, so you don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah, no, it's, for me, it is, where is it? Mando, Basic, and Twi'leki.
Okay.
I'm looking... Of course, it's Maverick that speaks Huttese. Or Hutsi. Kiramoon speaks Zabrak. Or Zabrak.
Yes.
And Rix was Jawaese. Damn, we're fucked. Oh, well, these guys should speak Basic anyways.
All right, tell me what you're doing.
I've flagged the bigger of the two. Actually, no. Before that, I watched to see which one of the two seems to be the more dominant. Bigger doesn't always mean better. So that would be a roll for perception, right?
Yeah.
Where's my 20? My 20's right there. Move him over here. Flick. 13 plus 3?
So 16?
Yeah, 16, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, you do notice they've got two different uniforms on, colored uniforms that are both pretty much the same uniform. And one seems to be giving instructions to the other.
Alright.
They're next to, but neither of them are manning the cargo lift at this moment.
Alright. So, in this case, I would walk up to and go like, "Hey, you two, we got a priority move coming down the line from my boss. He wants you to grab that lifter and take a crate to a specific spot. No questions asked. You understand?"
Roll the persuasion
Fuck. But oh well.
with advantage.
Fuck. I don't remember what my advantage was.
You roll 2 times and pick the highest result.
Alright, so D20. First roll is 14. So with my persuasion, that would make it +1. So 15.
Okay.
Roll again.
And that's a 2. So with
Yeah, so the first one was a 15. Yeah, they both stare at you for a second. And then they look at each other.
alright, that's where I mean now, boys.
And the one who's given instructions, says, something to him, and then points to the lift. And the other one nods, jumps on the lift. Did you tell him what hangar? Did you tell him where?
I gesture for them to follow.
Okay. Yeah, he jumps on the cargo lift and starts it up, looks at you, and begins to follow.
Okay.
In the meantime, Octavius,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing?
So I moved 2 guards from the last cargo to the second second from the left, and then I moved to the Wookiee.
Okay.
So, good news and bad news. Good news is we can make you leave this station. You can keep your weapons. Bad news, you need to go inside one of those cargos. We are not going to restrain you. You're going to be free. But we need you to stay calm inside the cargo.
They all start to look at each other. You can tell they understand. Some of them seem concerned.
Mm-hmm.
They start, mumbling to each other. The one you rescued first, looks at you, kind of stares at you for a moment, nods and makes some grumbles and grunts to the others. And then they all begin to move towards one empty container.
Yeah, I point them to
Okay.
the container.
Yeah. So they go ahead and hold on to their weapons and kind of double time it to the container.
Nice.
They all get in.
Okay, good. And I close the door
If they're
after they are
if
all
they're in,
inside.
can we take them off the board really quickly?
Yeah. Well, we don't really need the. I think we need the board so much. All right, so Chaser shows up, comes around the corner, down the hall with a guy in a cargo lift, a cargo hauler in tow behind him.
I point to the cargo which contains the Wookiees.
Alright.
He
So I pass on which container it is to the techs.
It's just the one.
Alright, okay, so to the tech. Then
Yep. So he drives up to the cargo container.
you have this one locked, by the way.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, we're pretty much out of any kind of combat, so he attaches to the cargo container, lifts it up, and looks at the two of you, waiting further instructions.
In this case, it would be our little helper that shows up out of the blue. We're waiting for directions from her.
Yeah, so she's at the door. You see her at the doorway. She gestures. Kind of hurry. Let's go.
Let's
Didn't say anything.
Alright, in that case, I tell the tech I tell the tech to follow us, and I'll take up like a escort position for the person. Pretty much, like I'd stand a bit behind them and to the side, like a bodyguard would.
Dedecoy's character does the same on the other side. Yeah, so after she sees you start moving towards her, she basically keeps her distance in front of you guys, looking down halls, trying to remain inconspicuous, but looking back every once in a while to make sure you're following.
Good.
And what are you doing, Octavius? Are you standing in front, behind?
I'm standing up front.
Okay.
Between the cargo and the girl. So
okay.
I'm following the girl, and the tech is following me.
Basically,
okay.
we're wedge formation, pretty much, I guess.
Yeah. So, the alarm's off, but you can tell there's, as you're moving down the hall, second floor, towards the grav lift. People are still. You can see crews of the other hangars kind of peeking their heads out, like trying to figure out what's going on. You see staff, techs and security, all talking to each other. In the hall, people are moving, not really running up and down the hall, but moving diligently. But no one seems to stop you. No one. Go ahead and both of you roll a perception check.
So it's 21.
Damn.
No, sorry, 22.
Damn. 5.
So Chaser, you don't notice anything. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Octavius, yeah, you get a good look at about everyone you pass, and everyone's in the hall. No one really pays you guys much mind. There's no one really paying much attention to you. No one really looks any really conspicuous. It seems like most people are trying to figure out what had happened. Both, the people that belong to the crews and the ships, and same thing as the staff. You're almost invisible to them. To them,
Okay.
this is something much more. They see cargo containers come up and down this hull. Unloading and loading containers, cargo from the ships that come by. It's so mundane compared to what seems to have happened, and no one really pays. Almost looks through all of you guys. So you make your way down to the grav lift. You go down one level. You go down to the other side. Down that. Actually, no, you wouldn't go down that hall. I don't remember how this is laid out. No, you wouldn't. So you hit the grav lift, and right there is the exit, where all the cargo containers are to the outside. So after you get to that door, the exit of the hallway where the grav lift is, if you go one way, it's going back down the hall to all the hangars on the first floor. You go the other way, it leads to basically warehouses, attached to the hangar.
Yep.
And there's a lot more cargo haulers, and staff, moving stuff around in these warehouses. So it looks like you pretty much blend right in, even more so than you did before.
Good.
I'll use your perception for this also, Octavius.
Mm-hmm.
There is security at the opening of the warehouse to go outside. And it looks like they have a couple of cargo containers that are trying to leave and come in that are being held up by security at the door.
Okay, so they are checking the inside?
Not right now. It doesn't look like they're checking. It looks like they've just stopped all the cargo from coming in and going out for right now.
Yeah, I will relay the information. Just I have the NDS communicator, so I can.
I mean, we're right next to each other, so.
I'll just relay the information.
Yeah, if you guys are, you might be a bit ways away, without other people being able to hear you, so you can whisper into your comm. It would probably be a little bit easier to communicate that way without drawing suspicion.
Yeah, especially because I have the NDS communicator, so I don't even need to move my arms.
Same.
So I'll just relay the information. So they are holding the cargos.
So you notice the woman is gone right now. You don't see her. You're not sure when along the journey. You saw her, through the grav lift, but she went down the grav lift ahead of you, and you haven't seen her since.
Okay.
And yeah. But there's like 3, cargo haulers just like yours in front of you, waiting to try and get out of this warehouse. And there's like 2 trying to come in that are all being held up at the door.
Let me see. So we are just in a queue right now.
Yeah. But it doesn't look like it's moving.
Kiramoon, aren't you the stealthiest of the two of us right now?
Really? Stealth.
I know you're gung ho, but
I will just I will ask to the one in front of us if they have any idea on how much time
no.
we need to wait.
Okay, that's the worst possible idea to
Really?
ask to attack in front of us. For one thing, we're dressed up as security. Security has comms with each other.
We have the because we have the fucking communicator, the frequency. Yeah.
Yeah.
So best bet would be to patch in and localize onto what the what's paralyzing the system.
Yeah. That's pretty much. So I connect to the frequency that we take from the other cards.
So you're patching into their frequency?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you patch in. As you're waiting in the queue, you just kind of hear some kind of worthless chatter, telling people to go to here, there, check here. At some point, you do hear, and you can hear it too coming from the door of the warehouse. So you hear it both from him and through your comm. One of the security guys that's at the door saying, "How much longer do you want us to hold up cargo containers?" And a very deep, rugged voice comes back through. It says, "Until I can verify that none of these containers contain the ones who, attacked the spaceport." And then it goes back to pretty much useless chatter between security, sending security look, in certain places for, the ones you described who attacked the.
Okay.
There's also what you notice is there's chatter looking for the security that was left in Hangar 7, which was you guys. If anyone is seeing them. Or where are they?
So they're looking for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guy with the rugged voice, you can tell he's looking for you, not like he suspects you, but wants to know, the security that was there, that saw everything, where the hell they are, so he can, essentially get a briefing.
Okay. I will immediately relay the information to Kraven, and I'm going to respond to this call. I know, but if they are searching for us, they will maybe go to the hangar and find the other people. So we don't have so much choice.
So you're gonna talk over comms?
I will wait until the next call for us. So as soon as as someone asks, where are the people on that hangar, I will respond.
Yeah, so it comes like about every. It's brought up pretty often after getting status updates. So yeah, it comes up pretty quick.
So I will respond after.
So as you bring your comm up to your mouth to speak, feeling a hand on your arm.
Okay.
And you turn around to look at who it is.
Yeah.
And it's a human woman. And she says, She says, "Be careful what you say over comms." And it's in a very familiar voice that you kind of
Okay.
piece together. It's the woman who was in the hood, but she's dressed up as security.
Okay. Then she left my arm.
Yeah, so she basically, you're about to talk on your comm, and she puts
Okay.
her hand on just to stop you for a second.
Okay.
And she says, "Be careful what you say over comms," and then says, "So what's your plan?"
I'm going to tell them what we saw. We saw it's on a couple of bounty hunters taking the Trandoshan.
Okay, well, they're going to want to see you. He's going to want to see you and talk to you. And I've seen this guy. This is not someone you want to tangle with.
So how we can resolve this issue?
Fake a struggle.
Well, I don't know where you are right now. We don't want them to find out what's going on until we get out of here.
So we need to get out of here.
Yeah, that's the plan. I have a safe house nearby where we can lie low.
So we can just brute force outside.
No, that'd put him on higher alert.
Yeah, she looks at you as you say that. She says, "That's not really my cup of tea."
I try to be subtle about it, but I'm just shaking my head whenever I hear him say that.
I'm a bloody soldier. I want to shoot at stuff.
She looks at you and says, "You haven't had your fill."
Sorry, reveal us.
We need a distraction. This could be a part where it's like it's scripted to where like Rick separates from us. But he goes to the opposite side to try and risk. It's like one of her people meets up to give him a safe escort out.
Say that again, Chaser.
This is scripted to where like for us to separate from Rick, Static Boy's character. He goes off to perform a distraction. Say sets up a charge somewhere in the.
Oh no, don't worry about his character. I already got that worked out.
Okay. I mean, that would have been a good way because a distraction to pull security to the opposite side, which would allow us to slip out.
In a blaze of fire. So we can leave. With a distraction.
In as quiet a voice as possible, I'll just ask. I'm guessing you've got some ideas of your own.
Who, me or Octavius?
No,
I think the woman.
Oh yeah, asking the woman.
Oh. I have one idea. So it could either go really well or really poorly.
It's our lifestyle.
She glancing at the container with the Wookiees.
No, not really.
Oh, I'm all ears.
She said when I came here, I wasn't expecting so many passengers. Of course, there's plenty of vehicles out in the lot that we can commandeer that can fit everyone. But that just adds an additional risk. Has any of you ever hotwired a vehicle before?
No.
Ship before?
Hot wiring is tech. God damn it.
Is that you?
That would have to be me.
All right.
You
She
got
says,
the bullet junkie over here, then you got me. We're missing Maverick for his stealth abilities. Though he kind of gives himself away.
so she looks at you and says, well, if you can find a vehicle out in the lot that can accommodate all of us, I should be able to, might be able to get us through the security. But if not, we might need to make a quick escape.
And the assets inside the cargo?
Yes, they'll be able to come too. But if this goes wrong, we need to be able to quickly open up the container.
Sounds good to me.
Well, so it's...
Right,
You okay?
Yep, I just dropped something. That's fine.
Okay, Butterfingers. Well, I guess that's where I just nod and step away from the group. I look at
Yeah.
the tech and say, you follow their orders now. I hear anything back. If I hear you guys try to play something, I'll be looking for you.
Yeah, she says try and pull it around. Actually, she cuts herself off and looks at Octavius and says, "Get the engine running, and
Okay.
if things start going wrong, your buddy here can." And she looks at Octavius and says, "You know, he'll let you know if we need to make a quick escape."
Yes.
I just
Okay,
shake my head and just start walking off towards the
I'm
side exit.
pretty much ready.
As Chaser walks away, Octavius, she looks at you and says, "I'm sure you're going to have your hands full if this goes sour. Do you have the card for the container?"
Okay, I'm going close to the door of the container, just to be prepped. And I'll say on my left hand I have the card, and my right hand is just like playing on the handle of the pistol.
Oh my god, that just...
It's there, like how can I explain? Just like playing casually.
tapping,
Yeah.
drumming. But
No, it's not drumming. It's like with my palm open on the stock and just rotating. I'm
oh
acting.
god.
I'm acting bored.
Okay.
Okay.
She whispers to you that I'll be right back, and
Yeah.
she kind of disappears to the side between some cargo containers.
Mhm.
And after about really not long at all, a minute or so, see almost looking like a completely different woman comes back
Okay.
out. Her clothes have completely changed. Her hair has changed enough. She's got auburn hair. Her hair has changed enough that it looks almost like a completely different woman. If you didn't know any better, you would think she's a completely different woman. She's
Okay.
wearing more noble clothes. Doesn't that seem to match kind of not really like like a super high class noble, but kind of I made my own money my own way kind of noble.
Okay.
And so she walks back out from where the containers are, and she starts yelling. yelling at the tech that's driving the container and says, "Why hasn't my cargo been moved out of this warehouse?" And the tech looks, her voice carries, and the tech looks just like really uncomfortable, like not sure what to do. And
wide-eyed.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he recognizes her at all.
Okay.
And so she's walking over, and she points at you, Octavius, and says, "You, I want my cargo contained. Get him to move my cargo container out here right now." And she begins walking towards the security door in front of the cargo hauler.
Okay, so I will point the tech to start moving, and I'm pretty much escorting him in front, and pretty much passing by the other ones on the queue.
Okay.
I'm skipping the queue.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys are walking along the left queue and walking up to the security door where there's a little bit of a opening between, containers, the haulers trying to come in and the haulers trying to get out. So before we continue, we'll go to Chaser. Chaser, you leave the warehouse out one of the side doors. And
because I'm using a security guard's access, it's, they don't question as to why these doors are opening because it shows that it's a guard opening the doors.
Yeah, it's not a big door, so the side door isn't really big. It's not one. It's where people come in and out. It's not necessarily where cargo comes in and out.
Mm-hmm.
It's more for personnel.
It's more like this will give me access to like the carpool.
Yeah.
Which is where I head towards.
Okay.
Of course, because as dressing up as a security guard, I have to. Stance-wise, it's like I'm on a mission, like I'm looking for something. Keeping an eye out for like something that's out of place.
Gotcha.
So, that should give off the impression that I belong there. If you think otherwise, you're wrong.
Make a performance check.
Fuck. Flicky. I reroll. That looked like it just flew, didn't roll, but. Performance is 1, so that's an 8. But because they aren't expecting me, advantage or no?
I'll give you advantage.
Okay. $19 plus 1 is 20.
Yeah. So people, lower personnel seem to get out of your way. Everyone else pays you no mind and gives you, space to do what you need to do. So you're walking out to where?
The carpool depot where there's like a bunch of like transports waiting around to pick up cargo.
Okay.
Like that's like unmanned because like the drivers are on break.
Yeah, so there's plenty that are manned, waiting to unload or load stuff up. There's plenty that are just parked, unmanned. There's also, so they're all different sizes. There's also passenger vehicles that are nearby, almost like, as you would see like at any airport, you've got all the different buses that are parked out there. But you've also got cargo,
So I go more. So I'm looking more for like say transport style trucks. It's got a decent enough like say cab section to fit like 4+ people. But 4+, like you fit 4 to 5 people, but it's got a transport area for hauling like containers.
Yeah. So there's So you want one that hauls containers, not like a bus.
Yeah.
What you're saying? Okay. Yeah. So there's plenty of those parked around.
Well,
Anything specific?
I want one that doesn't exactly look obvious,
What
but
do you mean that doesn't look obvious?
it's more like a. You see the generic version. You see it everywhere, but the one I'm looking for is one that's slightly different, so you know, like it belongs to something more upscale. Because if it looks important, it doesn't get stopped.
Yeah, I mean, all of them look pretty low profile. They're just generic small cargo shuttles. Um, yeah, so the cargo haulers just basically pick up one or two crates at a time. You know, like a forklift. These are cargo shuttles, so they've got loading ramp and all that jazz. Some of them are a lot bigger. Some of them, are smaller.
Alright, so I want the one
All
like
of them are
it'll hold
pretty.
the container. It'll hold like a container and a half. That's the size I'm looking for. Like say it's a delivery truck.
Yeah. There are some that look a little spiffier than others, that look like more than just cargo haulers or cargo shuttles. Some look pretty beat up. Some look like, you know, they could haul ass a little bit.
Well, I'd probably go for the one that can move, like it's in a decent shape.
Okay. So yeah, easy enough to find, one of those. They look a little bit newer. And yeah, so you go up to it.
For one, I'd try to get the open up the doorway to it, or hatchway, so I can move into do a quick inspection of the inside.
Yeah, so the hatch opens up without any issue. Yeah, it's got plenty of room inside. You could probably fit 25, 30 people in this shuttle comfortably.
Okay. But what about the container?
Yeah, so like down in the cargo area, you could fit 25, 30 people down in that
Okay.
cargo area comfortably. So right now, all of those Wookiees are like literally like cramped up in that container because there's only 4 of them in there at a time because they were essentially sitting
They're
down.
big, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But have you ever seen those videos where a bunch of like military guys all jumped into a porta-john? Like you've got like 10 guys that jump into one porta-john.
Oh
You're
god.
like, how did they all fit in there? That's pretty much how the Wookiees are right now. So they're fitting in that container, but it's not comfortable at all. Like literally, they're
Yeah. Okay.
shoulder to shoulder.
So after looking inside, thinking the space is good, I moved and checked like all the crew quarters, all that passenger quarters, all that stuff, or the cabin. Make sure nothing's out of place, and like if it's looking good, I get to work on taking over.
Yeah. Roll of perception.
Wrong one. Let me move it out of the way. 17, 18, 19, 20? Yeah, 20. 17 plus 3.
So you're keeping an eye out as you walked up to the shuttle, and as you're looking around, you um, made sure that there's no one's really noticed that you've walked into this. No one's really paid you much mind, let alone noticed. Then on top of that, roll an investigation.
Investigation is... It's intelligence, isn't it? Yeah, that's a 3. $18 plus 3 is 19, 22 is 21.
Okay. Yeah, so with your perception investigation, you pretty much come to the conclusion that this starport seems to be secure enough, or people know better enough not to try and steal from them. Like security's pretty comfortable in leaving stuff here for whatever reason. They don't anticipate people are going to try and steal their shuttles or steal anything from them. And yeah, everything in the shuttle is in working order. Um, there's no issue with you starting it right up. And yeah, there's nothing suspicious about the shuttle in any way.
Okay. So, with the fact that it's all unsecured, all that stuff, that means that I don't even need to hotwire it. I could just flick a switch and it's mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Octavius, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Alright. So, continuing on with that, that means I should just flick the switch and start making a move. But I don't think I should be in disguise for it. I should probably swap to, like, say, my civilian-looking outfit, hopefully with a cap so I can have my face slightly covered. So it's like it obscures who I actually am.
Okay.
Not showing any Mandalorian colors or anything like that. It's more of, he's the driver of the shuttle. He's off to do his job.
Okay. With that, we'll go back to you, Octavius, in the warehouse. So you start making your way up with the tech.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty much following the woman.
And she's walking very determined towards the opening of security. Where security's basically made a checkpoint at the door. And as she walks up, security kind of looks in her direction as she's making a lot of noise. As she was yelling and giving commands as she walked up, they didn't really get a good look at her, and so they kind of moved to intercept her as she's walking up, or to confront her. But after looking at her and the way she's walking and how she's dressed and how she's been talking, they kind of look unsure now.
Okay.
So they're kind of like, is this might be difficult, or I don't know if we want to get in her way, but kind of hesitantly they put their hand up.
Pretty much is a lose-lose situation for
them. Yeah. So so two of them kind of walk up to her, and they say, "I'm sorry, we can't let anyone in or out, anything in or out of the hangar." And she goes to say, she says, "I'm leaving here with my cargo. It's already been delayed enough." They kind of look at each other, and then they, the other one looks back at her and says, "Sorry, but we have orders." And it's so she looks back at them and says,
If you're trying to be some empirical business snob, it's to hell with your orders.
Yeah, she says,
I am paying, so you guys have it. I am paying for your guys' job. You will do what I say.
She says, then maybe you'd like to explain to Talon Carde that his valuable cargo is being delayed. I'm sure your client, your boss would love to hear that as well. And now they look really, really nervous. And Octavius, roll a history check.
Okay. It's an 18 on the dice. Let me see how many.
That's
It's 18.
lore. Yeah, his
18.
lore is 0.
Yeah, mine is 0.
So
So 18.
instantly it takes you like a half a second. Like you hear the name and you're like, I know that name. And then it hits you that Talon Carde is the leader of the Smugglers Alliance.
Okay.
That basically runs, he doesn't deal in really illicit smuggling, like slavery or any kind of hard drugs or anything. He kind of just gives people, he does a lot of, smuggling of more soft stuff. If someone wants something and doesn't want people to know about it, he's the guy they go to. So it's a pretty big organization. It's not really like a cartel where they have enforcers. It's kind of how do I say a very loosely affiliated organization.
Okay.
Robin
So
Hood.
from your history check, from what you would know is that he doesn't have really, like I said, enforcers. That if someone needs something done, he finds the right person to get it done, and it gets done.
Okay.
But he's not really like a big old crime boss like the Huts or any of the other cartels. Is just kind of, he's a wealthy guy, but he's not really building an empire, more or less.
Okay, it's one of the people that are more. There are no problems. There are only possible solutions. Okay.
Yeah. So, but he has a lot of influence.
Okay.
So, so she continues to walk up to them. So they just kind of hesitate and they look at each other. And before one of them gets the chance to talk on the comm, she kind of walks past them and pushes one aside, and she says, "I'm leaving here with my cargo." And they look even more shocked, and they're pretty much hesitating. They're not sure how to react. It looks like they're trying to figure out what to say on the comm and how to deal with this situation.
And I will still follow her.
Yeah. So, however, the tech looks hesitant too. The tech that's driving your cargo hauler.
You heard the mom. Let's go.
And he hesitantly continues moving, looking at the security guys, basically just waiting to see if they're going to stop him. And so you can hear the two security guys. They're talking on the comm. They're kind of stuttering over the comm, trying to explain what's happening, but not really doing a great job. You can hear.
I have the comm, so I can hear their talking and the response.
Yeah. So it's so you only hear the response because they're speaking in Rhodian. The response is in Basic though, and so basically you just hear who's trying, who's trying to get out. And then saying, who did she say she works for? Whose cargo is that? And pretty much all the time where they're trying to, explain what's happening, you guys are getting past. You're getting past the security because there's only like 4 or 5 security officers at the door. The other ones aren't really sure what just happened. The 2 that are there are stuttering and trying to figure out what just happened.
So because the 2 on front are not stopping us, the other 2 are pretty much saying, okay, it's good. If it's good for them, it's good for us.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of people that don't know what's happening right now on the security side. As you're making your way out and start to move away, you see 2 of the security officers starting to jog back towards your position after you pass them.
Okay.
She's still walking forward, which means they're coming up behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And they start speaking in Rhodian pretty urgently.
Okay. So they seems concerned.
Yeah, like they're trying to get your attention, trying to get you to stop.
I will not stop, but I will face their direction.
Okay. They jog up to you and they continue talking in Rhodian. You don't understand.
I don't understand Rhodian.
Are you just not doing anything?
I'm saying speak my language.
Oh, did you say I don't understand Rhodian?
Yeah.
Okay. So the other one looks at one, says something in Rhodian, and the other one starts trying to jog in front of the cargo hauler.
So?
So he kind of gets in front of it and puts his hand up to get it to stop. And the tech stops as to not run over this security guy.
So I'm getting closer to the security guy. I didn't hear any order or stopping on the radio. Right.
Oh yeah, I forgot you still have. Yeah, so what you would have heard before all this, I'm sorry, I forgot you had.
Okay.
Technically, I'm still on comms as well, so I'm on priest, but I'm staying quiet.
Yeah. So what you would have heard over comms is the voice that's been giving everyone commands. Obviously, whoever's ahead of the security or head of this starport, said he'll be right there and to stop the cargo hauler, and he'll get this sorted out. And then that was right before they talked up to you.
Okay, so
that's where you might want to signal the lady, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I will speak with with a louder voice, so she can listen what I'm saying. The tone is a bit concerned, and I'm just pretty much saying I don't want any trouble with him. We can't wait for him. If we wait, I'm going to be in trouble. You heard the lady.
They look confused because even though they know the person she mentioned is higher up, technically
security can overrule.
Yeah, technically he's your boss. So basically, they say,
yeah, I know he's my boss, but
yeah, boss.
This one is this one seems pretty. Yeah, boss said, and I'm repeating louder. I know what boss said. I don't want to get in between this type of stuff. I'm here to guard.
Oh boy, oh boy.
So at this point,
Uh,
you see the other two more security guys from the door. You hear over the comms, and you can hear it pretty far away, pretty much from where the grav lift was, on the other side of basically right where the spaceport and the hangar meet. You hear a loud, deep voice over comms and from over there, telling the two other security guards at the door to stop your cargo container or cargo hauler. So the other two security are now running over to you. And you don't see the guy. You don't see the guy from the where the voice is coming from yet, but it sounds like it's coming towards you.
Okay. So the woman stopped.
yeah. What's the woman done during this? Because I know she's keyed in on comms as well.
So she was moving up until the point. She was just continuing to move up until the point of the security guard standing in front of the cargo hauler. And then she turned back around and is making her way towards that security guard that's blocking the cargo hauler.
Oh, before I go, can I add this in? Because I'm in the vehicle, I'm moving into position. I'm also going to take this time to reassemble my sniper from my backpack. So I have that option just in case a shootout starts.
Okay.
You know, because for this during this entire time, it was disassembled in my backpack. So. Alright, now I'll be right back.
So she walks up to that security guy and says, "I'm in a hurry and I won't be postponed by a second-rate starport security like this." And then she looks hard at you.
So I don't want to run off my colleagues, and I will keep walking. If the cargo keeps moving,
the cargo hauler stopped because there's a security guy standing in front of it. She makes a hard look at you, like, it's time.
Oh yes, finally.
No, not like it's time to kill people, but it's like, you remember she mentioned to you to contact Chaser.
Yeah, I know. So I will open the communication with Chaser. And
Chaser.
I think he's on the bathroom.
Okay. Ugh.
Okay, Kraven.
What am I
You
doing?
just got contacted. Yeah, I just contacted you.
Okay, so what did I miss?
Uh, nothing
Nothing.
so big.
Yeah, nothing you're not about to find out about.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll just I'll just call for you.
Alright, because I'm in the thing, I've still got my headpiece on, I'll just do like a acknowledgement click. So you know I'm listening.
Okay. It's time to move.
Move as in back the truck in or start opening fire?
Just move the truck right now.
Alright. Okay, so because of that, I'll just start the whole back end process to the dock so I can get the container.
So it's a shuttle. So it's not. You
Okay.
can move in 3 dimensions, so you can come down. So you could pretty much come in however you want to.
Alright, so now here's the question. Do I have to come in like it's hot, or can I come in like we're at peace?
It's not a question for me.
Okay, did Octavius start another fight?
No, not yet.
You know, Octavius is the one giving, what to do, not me.
Octavius, I gotta know. If I come in peaceful, I will get my tail blown off. If I come in hot, if I come in aggressive, I can probably throw everyone around a bit and do a quick grab you all and go.
Yeah, for the heart of my character, I will say Caminot.
Oh boy. Alright. So in other words, this is where I fly in and doors are wide open, right? I can get that shuttle in, flip a U, latch onto the container, with the gangway down so Kiramunda and the chick can hop in. Right?
And the 16 Wookiees.
Oh, they're in the container.
Okay.
So
Chaser, you're coming in fast.
it's fast, hot, prepped for to rumble, I guess.
Okay. So you're gonna come in low, or you're gonna come in high and then just drop down really quickly, make a nosedive, and then tell me how you're doing this.
I would need to know the layout of the thing before. Is it spacious enough for me to do a nose and a dime turn on a dime?
Yeah. So from which, yeah, there's a lot of space. So like the area right outside the warehouse doors is pretty clear for people to move stuff around. But there's all around it, there's rows and rows of cargo containers and other equipment.
Okay.
But
Well,
there's plenty of space there.
as a precaution, I slaved the controls to my wrist pad. So just in case I have to step away, I can still remotely control it. But yeah, I'll come in hot. I'll try and do it like nosedive so I can just flip it and park just above the container to latch on.
Okay. Roll an intelligence. For that, roll an intelligence check for me.
Wouldn't that be more piloting?
No, because you're slaving it to your wrist pad. That's more of a
Well,
techie thing. So
well,
it's a straight.
it's slaved as a redundancy just in case I have to step away to the gangway. I'm still in the cockpit.
Right. But as you didn't have too much time to configure everything, that's why I'm having you do an intelligence
Well,
check.
my mouse does not want to work. It keeps dropping it after one flick. See, like I didn't let go and the mouse just dropped it. This is annoying. That wasn't much of a roll. 9 and intelligence?
Yeah.
So 9, 10, 11, 12.
No, I think that's a 6.
That's a 6.
Is that a 6 or a 9?
That's a 9.
Is it?
It's a 9, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
12.
over with the mouse.
See,
Okay.
Now, if I could slap it to like towards like say technology, that gives me an additional 9, since it's also a mastery. Or if it's a piloting, that gives me an additional 6.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Because either way, whether it's via technology or piloting, I guess I get that a hefty little boost.
Yeah, I'll let you do technology. So.
All right, so that's 9 and 9 is 18.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So how are you coming in?
Nose first to flip it and put myself in a locking position for the cargo container.
Cargo ramp is in the front.
Okay, well I'm in a position to bust in, latch onto the cargo with the gangway, and then do a fast lowering of the gangway so Kiramund and the lady can hop in.
Say that one more time.
I came in fast. I since the hatch, the lock for the cargo containers at the front of the ship, at the nose. It's nose first. I come in, nose it in, and just do an immediate lock onto the container. And I have lowered at the same time as I'm in the locking, I lower the entryway so that Kiramund and then the spy bitch can run in.
Okay. All right. Octavius, you see this happen. You hear as the security start getting closer. You see walking up this big guy who you assume is the guy that's been giving everyone orders. He's a Zabrak, big Zabrak guy. He's walking
Yes.
up, and he's flanked by like a dozen security officers.
Okay.
In addition to the 4 that are around you.
So just to understand, Chaser locked the cargo to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he comes straight down. Well, if you lock the cargo to the ship at the if you're gonna lock the cargo container, it's going to be at the bottom, and they're not going to be able to run in.
But it's not the ramp is low enough that they can jump onto it, though. Correct?
Not with the cargo container locked onto the bottom of the ship or the shuttle.
Oh, the only option would be for them to grip onto the container themselves. That way, they can just pull the container out with them. Because there are like handholds for them to hold on to. Correct?
Say that again.
There are handholds on the container for them to grab. Correct?
Not really.
You really love to make this difficult for me, don't you?
We can open the container and make the Wookiee run inside the shuttle.
So, in other words, I'm in front of it. I have the cargo door open, and you will just pile into the cargo bay, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's like extracting in our FTX.
Okay.
It's just a bloody mess of people running inside.
Okay, fine. That way. Do it.
Okay, as soon as Crevan lowers, I will open the cargo container and yell at the Wookiees, go inside the shuttle now.
Okay. As soon as you do that, so Chaser, you didn't have much, with everything that's going on, kind of dropped down. You could see just about everything. You weren't able to get in between in all the chaos and everything going on, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. You weren't able to get in between all of these security guys that you didn't notice until it was too late walking towards them, and the cargo hauler. And so as everything's happening, as you're coming in, you see Octavius unlock the cargo hauler, the cargo door, all these Wookiees start running out and running to the ramp of the ship. They run. They all make a beeline into the shuttle. And until takes about about 2 or 3 seconds after they start running to the shuttle. It's not a long run. You were able to drop pretty close. But then security starts opening fire. The Wookiees run, don't pay much attention until the fire starts opening. A couple of them turn, fire back. Actually, let me.
It's fun because we have these 16 walking carpets armed with rifle and pistols.
But all of them are.
Why can nothing be nice and clean with you around? I'll admit the first altercation was Maverick's doing, but then the other two were you.
It wasn't me the second time.
Open the door and let loose a Wookiee.
So all of you start running into the ramp.
Yeah.
One of the Wookiees does end up getting hit in the leg, from what you could tell, and ends up falling on the ground as you're running up. It happens right beside you. One of the Wookiees stops and tries to pick them up, but is able to get them back on their feet, but they're not moving that fast.
Okay. So, in my opinion, it's better if I provide cover or if I try to help him.
You make the call.
I'll start shooting.
Okay. Start shooting back. Fire tends to be focused on you. Go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
Yes. Let me find it. This one and this one. Okay. So, what is like 21?
Okay. They're far enough away. There's some glancing blows on your armor, but it's far enough away and it doesn't do really any damage. And you have enough time to run onto the shuttle, and you buy them enough time to get onto the shuttle off the ramp. So everyone's. So you guys get on the ramp. Now what?
I think it's. I'm calling on the radio on Chaser.
No, here's the thing. Go. Did the spy bitch hop on as well?
Or she did.
Okay. If he calls out that everyone's good, I nose up enough to get them out of line of fire, and I quickly back the ship out.
Yeah, you like alligator gulp everyone into the cargo hold. They all kind of fall into the ship as you nose up.
I didn't know. Not that hard. Just enough. Like barely. Not even like a 15-degree angle.
Yeah, that's still gonna throw some people off. I mean, it's not like horrible, but they kind of tumble into the ship, into the cargo bay.
I mean, if it's hot, it's hot. Not like they have time to strap down.
And you're able to pull up. You know, the ship takes some light arms fire, but nothing to do any damage to the armor.
I'm glad I grabbed a rugged one. All right, in that case, it's once I'm back out, I start just taking off to try and ditch him towards somewhere. I'm not exactly sure of a heading. Hopefully, Spike Chick was able to keep her footing enough to make her way to the bridge to give directions.
And that's exactly what happened. You hear someone trotting up behind you. You take a look, and it's her. And she said, she gives you she's hitting something into the Nava computer, basically saying, "Head to these coordinates. I have a safe house here."
Alright, that's where I just turn around and start shutting the hatch because I'm pretty sure it's clear now since they all fell in.
Yeah.
It's clear, so I shut the hatch and just start taking off. Probably do try to make it a bit of a detour so they don't know exactly where we're headed. Of course, I don't stray too far from her directions.
Yeah, she stays up in the cockpit with you, and kind of gives you direction on best ways to get out of to lose any possible trails.
Alright, in that case, it's with my flying being a 6 and pairing off to my 9 of a technology, I guess. I just do follow her directions to the best that I can.
Go ahead and roll piloting for me.
And it let loose before I even let go of the trigger. Come on. I know what to do. It's enable mouse pad. Click. Oops. There we go. Come on. Someone else roll for me, please. My mouse.
So you're having a lot of difficulty with with learning the controls of the ship. Actually, you know what? I'll give you an advantage because she's helping you.
Alright, so roll again.
Yeah. But if you roll another one, you're gonna die.
10. 10 plus 6 is 16.
Okay. Yeah. So with the two of you working together, you're able to pull enough turns and backtrack enough, and double back. And this is an urban area, so there's lots of multi levels. So you're able to go down, and go back, and then go forward and wind around.
Mm-hmm.
You make a lot of twists and turns, and you find you pass through a lot of crowded areas of the city that you're pretty confident that you weren't tailed. And I forgot to mention but with your earlier technology and investigation roles you were able to disable the tracker on this shuttle.
Okay. I was about to ask, it's like, hey, did I get the tracker or no?
Yeah, you had the wherewithal to know enough. Like, yeah, there might be a tracker. Your investigation was high enough. Your technology was high enough where it was almost second nature. Like, it's probably going to be here, and you disabled it. So.
Okay.
And so you make your way to some of the mid-levels of the inner city area. So she takes you a little bit more in the downtown area towards the starport. Not all the way, but basically she directs you and navigates you to a small workshop / hangar that is kind of set up for basically multi-purpose. It's both a house and a hangar, cargo, and you take the shuttle there, and you land. And she makes her way down to the she opens the cargo ramp once you land, and she makes her way down to the cargo bay. What are you guys doing?
Pretty much I'm following her.
Tapist, did you come up to the?
I think she needs to come in front of me to exit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you stay down in the cargo bay?
Yeah. I stayed with the Wookiees.
Okay.
Actually, wouldn't he be dogpiled by the Wookiees since they all tumbled on top of him?
Yeah, but it wasn't too terrible.
Sarcastic joke.
He didn't take any damage from it. Next time. He was already dodging blaster bolts. Are you following her down, Chaser?
If we're parked and good to exit, yeah, I'll exit the cockpit. I still have a remote slave to my wrist pad.
Yeah.
That hopefully they didn't pick up on.
So you make your way down to the cargo bay with her. Apis is down there with the Wookiees. The ramp is open. Wookiees are making their way out into the hangar. We've landed, and you two look at each other. You go to look at Dedekoi, and you notice he's not there.
Oh, we forgot Dedekoi.
Poor boy got captured. Oh no.
And yeah.
Oh, now we have to storm the spaceport.
Anta.
Yeah.
You're a bastard. No, he's not there. I'm pretty sure they sent him somewhere else.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Tavis?
You.
Me?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you sent him somewhere else.
That's something you're gonna have to find out in play. Yeah, if you guys, you're remembering back, you're trying to remember back. You remember him walking. You remember him being there when you left the hangar with the Wookiees. You remember him walking down the hall. Sure, Octavius, you remember him coming down the grav lift.
Okay.
You're not sure if you remember seeing him in the warehouse with you.
Okay.
So you remember coming down the grav lift, but when you got to the warehouse, neither of you remember him being there, or if you're sure if he was there with you.
All right.
Okay.
I checked my wrist pad, see if I got any messages.
Yeah, same.
Nothing.
Alright. I know he's got a device that we can use to ping him send him like a quick pinged message, so that's what I would probably do.
Yeah, you send a ping, and there's no response.
Okay.
So, Chaser, you would know that one of two things happened, or one of three things.
Either he's caught or he's gone silent.
Well, technologically, either it was deactivated, it's being blocked, or it was destroyed.
Yeah.
That's the only three reasons why it wouldn't have you wouldn't have gotten a response.
See, now here's the part where I find it, because it's like I asked if everybody got on board. You said yes.
You asked if everyone got on board.
Octavius said yes. So I would glance at Octavius before I glance at the spy chick.
Yeah, that's my bad. I thought he was with us.
Yeah, and she looks at you and says, I didn't notice. Not sure when. I'm not sure he made it outside the warehouse with us.
Mm. Alright. In that case, I'll just send a ping.
She says the last time I remember seeing him was before he got into this outfit, and she gestures to her noble clothes that she's wearing. But then she immediately interrupts herself and says, either way, your other friend is, he gestures outside towards the hangar, is resting. He's unconscious, but he's doing fine.
Oh, okay. Because I don't have time, we don't really have the luxury to go digging for him. Or for Dadekoi. Or for Dadekoi's character. It's, I know we have like a dead drop messaging way, correct?
Did say that again?
Don't we have like a way to like for dead drops between us, like between like the passing Mandalorians?
Dead drops.
You leave a message, leave a parcel, like in an inconspicuous spot or location, whether it's physically or virtually, and then only those who know to look for it will find it.
Right.
It's
Sure.
like when the
you
Templars got lost and they climb on top of on the roofs of the houses, and they find
Yeah.
themselves.
Did you set a dead drop up?
For ops like these, I know they're usually they're standards, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's part of the role playing game. You guys have to tell me what you're doing and why you're doing it. There's
Well, I'm taking because
can't leave too much room for just kind of you know
I'm thinking back like lore wise, it's like we had one set up like a dead drop, like a virtual dead drop, pretty much set up between us and the Mandalorian that sent us on this, didn't we? Because otherwise, how else were they supposed to give us information without being alerted to by the Imperials?
they have a secured frequency, which is what the communication was sent to you over.
Okay. In that case, Rix would also have access to that frequency, and they could pass on any messages to him, thus that drop.
Yeah, but as you know, you've tried to communicate with him and you are getting no signal back.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we still have to advise the higher ups what's going on.
Oh yeah, you can contact them.
Yeah, in that case, Kiramund, that's on you. Either way, we need our characters to rest and get patched up. Because you're missing, what, 16 points of health right now? No,
10.
he is. Yeah, you're missing 10. I think I'm missing similar.
It's not a big deal.
Well, that plus our those maneuvers we used as well.
Okay, I'll try to contact them on the safe frequency.
Before you do that, I'd patch in and encrypt it for you. Because I do have the ability to encrypt messages.
Oh, good.
Okay, so you guys are resting?
Yeah, we are resting, but before resting, we are sending a report on Rix. That we got split up after a firefight, and we lost communication with him.
Okay. I'm trying to find. Okay. Yeah. So, two of you open up your holo communicator.
Our wrist pads, since they have the holo communicators built in.
Yeah. And Cal answers, and it says, "How are things going?"
We have found someone that can smuggle us in. But
Unconfirmed.
we need to pay him. And we got separated from Rix. We have lost contact with him. But I think he's going to find a way out.
Wouldn't be more because Rix wasn't with us when we first got this mission. Rix tagged along in the first place.
I think they sent him.
Yeah. He was a late addition to the team, but they did send him.
Okay.
Cal says, "How long has Rick's been missing?"
Less than 1 hour.
No, I want to say like a couple hours at the very least, considering how much we had to do to lose any possible tails.
How much we fly?
You guys flew for probably about 45 minutes.
So 1 hour is a pretty good estimate.
Yeah.
Damn.
Cal says, "And Manu, where is he?"
Manu got followed by 2 thugs and they beated him, but he's safe right now. He's resting.
Yeah, the stealthiest of the two of us got caught by thugs and roughed up.
Understood. We were able to decode some of more of the message that was sent. The original contact, clan leader had sent you to meet, reached out because he paid him quite a bit of money. Apparently, what was unknown before now, where he was supposed to meet him, was on Telus. He's reached out to a contact, track you down. At this point, where the woman walks up behind you, says, "That would be me."
Oh.
I just arch an eyebrow and glance. I don't say anything.
and she says, "Captain Rendar, I assume, is your contact." Hal looks at her, with a hard stare and says, "Right. I guess it checks out that you are the contact. Is he? Are you taking them to Telus, or is he coming to you?" She speaks up and says, "He's coming here. He's already en route. I just have to keep these ones out of trouble until he gets here." And she kind of looks at you, scoldingly, almost half mockingly.
Wait, who is she looking at in particular?
Both of
Yeah.
you. Like, yeah, she's getting paid a lot of money to make this work, but you're making it difficult on her.
Nah.
But she doesn't say anything after that.
You know, I like how I get lumped with their meatheads of the group.
So Cal looks back at, and after a long pause, Cal looks back at the two of you and says, "How long has it been? 36 hours, and 50% of you are ineffective."
Pretty much.
He takes a deep breath and lets out a long sigh.
I really wanted to say him that we took out 12 guards, but I don't think it's going to help us.
And he's looking back and forth at the both of you, basically waiting for you to respond.
I didn't hear the question, sorry.
All he did was let out a big long sigh after you said basically.
Okay. I missed one thing. So we are going to not move to Corellia. We are waiting here right now.
Correct.
Okay.
The original contact, which was not included to the broken up transmission, was waiting for you on Taylor's in the Corellian system, but not on Corellia itself.
Okay. We got wind that the capital on Corellia is pretty much sealed. No one can enter, no one can leave.
Correct. Essentially, well, the capital's more secure than the rest of the planet, but the entire planet is essentially blockaded.
If we need to go on Corellia, we maybe have found someone that can smuggle us in.
I mean,
but there is no need right now, but maybe.
Okay, yeah.
That is who your contact is and who's headed towards to you right now, Captain Rendar.
Yeah, okay.
He's the captain of a light Corellian frigate, or a freighter, I mean. And he should be arriving within the next 12 hours. He looks at a woman and says, "Is that correct?" And she nods and says, "That's correct."
Okay. There is nothing that I can add right now, so.
So our current orders are just lay low, stand by, and wait for the contact?
Yeah, I think yes.
All right.
That depends. Do you have any leads on Rick's?
No leads on him.
Attempted to do a ping, but came up negative. Which leads to his device either being offline or destroyed.
Give me the details on what happened.
This would be the time where it's because of habitually of keeping logs, I guess, correct? correct? I would transmit like what logs of what we've done. No, I'll just give like a brief overview of like everything that we did, like verbally, to him, I guess. To be honest, I don't want to like try to talk the whole length, but then I'll turn around and say I'll send a full report within the hour.
Yeah, so you give him a brief report, what happened. And he seems specifically interested in thugs and the Mandalorian you ran into on the ship. Asks, do you know anything more about them?
Riggs just or remember that specific Mandalorian worked with the CIS. Nothing more.
Yeah, so Rix, yeah, that's right. Rix remembered that. So at the mention of this Mandalorian, as you give him more description and explain a little bit more, Cal looks concerned. For the first time, maybe ever, that you've seen him concerned. And he says, whatever you do, don't get involved with him. Your distance from him. If it's who I think it is, and I'm going to look into it. He's one of the most dangerous men in the galaxy.
I'll just nod and go understood.
Yeah, same.
Cal says, is there anything else?
Oh, I transmit a video feed of the Wookiees that are hanging out in the hangar and the cargo of the ship. I go, recommendations on these?
We would do well to get them home, as the clan leaders always had a good relationship with the Wookiees. So, the way things are right now, I don't know if that's going to be possible for me to arrange it anytime soon.
Out of context, does the chick speak Mandalorian?
Are you speaking in Mandalorian?
I'm speaking basic right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm asking if the chick does, because...
I don't know, that's something you're going to have to find out in play.
Huh.
Are you going to ask her if she speaks Mandalorian?
No, not yet. I'm just curious.
Right. Yeah, that's something you got to find out in play.
Okay.
Yeah, Cal's been speaking in basic. So as this mission is the utmost priority, can't have the smuggler take a detour to drop these Wookiees off home, even though not too far out of the way, their home planet is not really in a better situation. Too much really in a better scenario that Aurelia is right now.
Yeah, maybe in the future they can help us.
So that's something you're going to have to figure out with them and your contact there.
Okay. So I think we don't need to say anything more to him.
Yeah. No further intel. We'll contact when need advisement.
As it says, I got nothing more on my end. Either I can, I'll reach out and on the secure channel with any updates.
I'll just nod. Yeah, understood.
He nods back and disconnects. The
Okay.
hologram fades out. So the woman is just kind of leaning up against a workbench where you guys have been having this conversation. Giving you space, she's not like right there. Looks like she took a couple steps back. Was listening, but wasn't like right up behind, right up breathing down your neck. And she says, "So, what are we going to do with them?" As she gestures with her head towards the Wookiees that are just kind of talking. They just talking amongst themselves. Checking each other for wounds, and they're tending to the one that did get hit with a blaster shot. Some of them are checking their weapons. Pretty much a lot has just happened for them in the past, hour and a half.
Yeah.
So
we can ask for someone to smuggle them back to Kashyyyk, but it is going to take a lot of money, I think.
It'll probably take more money than to get us onto Corellia. So you got to keep that in mind. We can't get them home right off the bat anyways. Best bet is to find some place to keep them safe. And then if necessary, call upon them if we need backup.
I look at the woman. They can be any good for you? Maybe they can help you. Maybe they can help you in some way.
Well, obviously, someone wanted them. They're valuable to someone. They're going to be more of a liability than a help. It's not like I can send them to pick up groceries.
The closest safe place for them?
What I've heard, what's going on Kashyyyk, seems like nowhere in the galaxy is safe for a Wookiee right now.
Oh. I have no idea on what to do with them.
Aren't they good with their hands? Get them tools, patching up ships.
She says they are, but as you can see, and she gestures around to the mostly empty hangar, other than the ship and a couple crates and a couple workbenches. There's really not much in here. She says, yeah, you know, you can see there's not much to do around here.
For now. Get some ships that need a bit of working on, and here you can get yourself your own little fleet.
That's not my. She says, it's not my thing.
Yours, no. But another in your entourage, maybe.
Yeah. She says, I'm risking myself enough having them here. I wasn't hired to, she says, I wasn't hired to traffic Wookiees or to keep them safe. I was hired to get you in contact, Captain Rendar, get you off planet.
Oh, well, I'm not saying do it for free. Get them someplace
Oh,
else, and then you could use them to get for paid labor. They'll do the jobs, you take the income.
like I said, that's not my thing.
And like I said, not just you. You have more people in your group, I know that. You can't do something this big all by yourself. I'm pretty sure you have a fleet out there that needs some extra crew.
She shakes her head. I work alone. That's why I survived.
And yet, you now, on the ground maybe, but when you're up there, you need your fleet, don't you? You have an organization you report to. How else would you keep all your contacts in line?
That's not how my organization works. People who are needed are called up. But this isn't the cartels, the Black Sun, or the consortium. We don't have a fleet. We have people who do jobs. But we have contacts. That's how we're able to work in and out of different sectors in space, including the empires and the other factions.
Hmm.
So, 16 Wookiees is definitely going to draw attention. The kind of attention I try and stay away from.
So, if your organization makes a lot of job, maybe we can split them. Someone can work with someone. Maybe in 2 or 3, they can find a job and they can eventually work their way back to Kashyyyk.
Underground repairs doesn't have to be ships; can be a lot of other objects too.
There is no need to keep them right here.
Some site needs something repaired secretly. We know from experience those Wookiees can stay quiet when they need to be.
Well, the only way they're getting out of here safely, relatively safely, is on someone's ship.
Alright, add a character. God damn it, Octavius, why'd you have to create such a mess? Releasing the Wookiees like that.
Poor Wookiees. Okay, we will find.
It just speaks up again, and before you kill yourself trying to think about this. Why don't you ask them what they want to do?
Yes, I think it's the best way to do. Do you understand the Wookiee language?
I'm afraid I don't speak many languages, but sure, your book is not one of them.
Do we have any translator that can help us?
Kirmund, your wristpad has translation software in it, does it not?
I have no idea if the wristpad had. Does it?
Yeah, I'll say it does.
Okay.
I mean, why wouldn't it?
Bo, no idea. So I'll go to the Wookiees.
I mean, it'll be a rough-ish machine translation, but you can at least get the gist of what they're saying.
Okay, so I'll go to one of the Wookiees. The first one that I freed.
Okay. He sees you walking over towards him as he's addressing and talking to two other Wookiees.
Oh, might want to ditch the disguise, by the way.
What?
It's probably time to remove the disguise.
Yeah, Kiramun might want to ditch his disguise. I know I've already ditched mine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not yet, but I will do after I am talking with the Wookiee.
Okay.
And so I go to the Wookiee and I'll pull out the wristpad so I can translate what he's saying. And I'll just say to him, so we are trying to get you guys out of this planet, but we don't know how. If you have any ideas on where you want to go and how you want to go, we can find a solution.
He begins to communicate and rumbles and roars. And the translation basically says, we don't even know where we are.
I'll explain to them where we are.
So he kind of looks at the other two Wookiees that are there, and they just kind of shrug and shake their heads. And he explains, as the translation comes through, that he's not sure what you're saying, because not that he doesn't understand you, but he's never left his planet, so he doesn't understand the layout of the galaxy.
Okay, so with the holoprojector, I'll try to project the map of the galaxy.
Okay.
I'll point to Kashyyyk and I'll point to the planet in which we are right now.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty good distance. So he almost looks discouraged.
And I'll ask them what you guys want to do.
They kind of look at each other and kind of grumble and growl in communication to each other. It's hard to translate. You're picking up translations, but because they're all kind of talking, it's kind of rough. But what you pick up is they're kind of not really sure what to do. You could, but so he turns back to you and he says, we'd like to go home, but our village was destroyed when we were captured. And he says, we don't even know if there's any more survivors or if there are, if they're home, if they're there.
Maybe it's time to find your way into the galaxy.
Fallback positions, evacuation zones.
Make a persuasion check.
Make a persuasion check. It's a 16 plane.
At that, some of them, they kind of look at each other. Some are kind of like thinking about it. Others are uneasy at the thought. After a little bit discussion amongst themselves, he looks back at you and says, what would we do and where would we go?
That's up on you and on how you do stuff. If you can fight, if you are able to fight, you can fight. If you're able to repair ships, you can find some place. But it's really difficult for us right now to make you stay here and find you a way to go. So I don't know, maybe someone should split up, unless you guys want to stay all together.
Yeah, it seems so. As you say that, they all kind of talking to each other and amongst themselves. And there seems to be a pretty broad consensus that no matter what they do, they want to stick together because so much has already changed for them. For them to split up now would, the only thing that they're really hanging onto is of normalcy is each other.
Okay, so how's the geography of this planet? It's kind of similar to Kashyyyk, or it's like forest, not similar to Kashyyyk, because I don't think there is any place similar to Kashyyyk.
Not entirely.
So there are some forests.
What? Other planets?
No, in this planet.
Yeah, there's forests.
I look back to the woman. It's possible, in your opinion, to smuggle them on inside some forest in this planet, and as soon as we are able.
Wait, are you talking about Corellia or the planet you're on?
No,
the planet
the planet we are on.
Not. Double check. No, there isn't too many forests on this planet because it's a mostly urban planet. I mean, there's definitely plains and stuff like that, but there isn't a lot of forested area.
This is where I would step up and walk over to them. It's like, did your clan not have any fallback locations that they gave to you just in case an emergency such as this has happened?
Without speaking, they all look at each other and they look back at you, and then the one you've been talking to says that that's where we were captured, the fallback location.
Fuck.
Ouch. Was
The
it?
adults, he says, the adults bought us time um, when the slavers came in, held them back for us to get away. Um, a couple days later, we got into the fallback location, and then a couple days later, they found us there, and it was just us.
Hmm. And they don't have any idea on where any other locations would be that they could attempt to go to. We can only help them so much before it fully distracts us from our own mission. We can't babysit them.
Um, the one speaks up and says, "Where are you going?"
Someplace like Kashyyyk.
They kind of look confused at that, and he speaks up again and says, "In what way?"
Lots of Imperials.
They kind of look at discouraged at that, and they say, um, and the one says, "Have they taken over your planet as well?"
Lore-wise, yeah, they have, huh? Already taken over Mandalore?
Yeah.
It's not technically taken over, but the ones who rule Mandalore are controlled by.
Yeah.
Imperials. Yeah.
Alright, so back in character, it'd be, in a sense, they have, but we're more after a separate group of us that has been separated on a planet that is being blockaded by the Empire.
I'm thinking about some planets that can hold them, and that is a bit safer than Kashyyyk.
Mm. Oh, by the way, are we gonna clear the board or no?
Yeah, I'll do that later.
Okay.
There is some planet that we know that exists in which we can send them. Maybe it's got them inside the crate, the cargo, and made someone move the cargo.
You want to? What container? We left the container back at the port. We have a cargo hold. We have a ship with a decently sized cargo hold. Yes.
There is a planet in this system or in a nearby system that can hold this Wookiee.
Best bet would get them outer rim, but they get caught. It's mostly to the spice mines at Kessel.
The shuttle that we took can go in hyperspace.
Nope.
Oh.
You think a vessel like that could fit in the little port area? Hell no. This is meant for like citywide deliveries.
The woman is still nearby.
Anta.
Yeah.
Yeah, the woman is still nearby. I'll ask them. Do we have any wind on the Trandoshan and the ship of the Trandoshans that brought these Wookiees right here?
Do you have any what?
Any wind? Any hint? Any possible location?
No.
No.
Yeah, you asked her that question?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, she says, yeah, had just gotten a call to find out where you were, where you might be. When I found you, ship that was in that hangar. There wasn't really, you don't know much more than I do. But I imagine there'll be some information leaking through the grapevine over the next couple hours, a couple days of what exactly happened there.
I really want to help these Wookiees, but I don't know how.
We can't consistently help them. We can't babysit them. Best we can do is give
Oh,
them
no,
a direction and
yeah,
send them on
exactly.
their way. That's the best we can
That's
do.
the point.
You know what? I'll turn to them and ask, what are your guys' specialties? What are you good at doing?
Um, they basically look around and the one at each other, and the one speaks up and says, surviving. At a young age, we learn how to do everything from using our claws as tools, climbing, to fighting with weapons, hunting and gathering. But none of us ever passed the trial of getting a kill in the Shadowlands.
I'm more concerned about technologically wise. Repair what you can repair, what you can build, your crafting abilities.
Yeah, he speaks up again and says, everything we had in our villages we built ourselves. So every Wookiee learns at an early age they need to be self-reliant.
And they pretty much need a place to stay.
Hmm. So either we get them a ship and let them go mobile, or they build themselves a base and stay hidden until reinforcements from reinforcements from our side can get to them and smuggle them to a safe place.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
Okay, but you're trying to say get them to another planet. Best bet
This
would be
planet is. Oof.
either way it's a lose-lose situation. We're just looking for one that they will lose the less. If we can find another location for them to hunker down safely and use that as their base. They could then use their own crafting expertise to at least have an income and have a third party be the ones to help them with their supplies. And the way that the third party wouldn't do anything to them is because they would be proved valuable enough with their crafting abilities. Now, this would be me mumbling aloud, or just loud enough for, like, say, the spy chick to hear, just in case she gets any ideas on how she can use them.
Yeah, she says, well, if you think of a place, they can go. Maybe you can convince Captain Rendar to take them there after he drops you off.
Let's just wait for Captain Render.
Yeah, not much we can do now, considering that the adrenaline's wearing off, and I'm pretty sure they're all getting tired and want to rest. Give them a night to mull over their options, and go from there.
Well, no one's going anywhere until that shuttle's gone. So either now till Captain Rendar gets here, something needs to be done with it.
This case I would go. Do you have any intel on cartel-owned scrapyards? We can dump it. Or,
Well, that starport that starport you stole it from, belongs to the Hut cartel. So
I'm
I'd
more.
advise
I
we
would.
don't really have many options other than just dumping it randomly somewhere.
Alright. No, I was considering rival cartel, or maybe we can use like an engine blow and like in the wastelands.
Well, there aren't really any rival cartels. The Huts, well, this isn't technically in Hut space. The Huts control trade that goes through this planet.
Then wasteland disposal. where's a decently distanced one? We can program the navigation to autopilot towards it with a couple of subroutines to wipe its databanks and overload the engine compartment.
Sounds like a good plan to me, as long as you're thorough. Making sure it can't be traced back.
Well, that's where I just make my way back towards like the there's a shuttle. Go to like the cockpit area and start skimming through its nav logs.
Okay.
In the process, I just start deleting I'd probably just start deleting stuff as I go through it.
Okay. Octavius, what are you gonna do? Gonna do anything while he's doing this?
No, I don't think so.
You go to sleep.
Yeah, he's going to rest. But
Alright.
before that, I turn to the woman. I think it's time to introduce ourselves.
He says, "You can call me Miranda."
What? Miranda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Moranda.
Miranda. Not
Ah.
me.
Okay. And you can call me Kiramud.
I've already walked away, so it's like
Yeah.
I don't hear the conversation going on.
She says, "Well, it's good to officially meet you. There's a couple cots over there next to your friend. Feel free to get us all the rest you need till your ride arrives."
I'll thank her. And I'm going to. Kiramud is going to sleep.
Enjoy.
So, Chaser, yeah, your character, it didn't take you too long to kind of figure out how to preset the nav computer and everything.
Considering my previous little inspections and stuff, I'm pretty sure I pre-hotwired everything that needed to be done anyways. But this is just I'm taking like an extra hour or two just to go over it with a fine-tooth comb.
Okay. Go ahead and roll technology.
Nah, that wasn't a roll. Come on, stupid mouse. I don't know. Oh. I'll use this one. 16, so 19.
Okay. Yeah, you're pretty confident that you've thoroughly checked everything. And you've rigged the ship to properly navigate away. And you've wiped everything, so neither will they be able to track it back here. You've given it enough turns and loops where they can't, where if you just gave it a straight shot and then it crashed, that they could calculate, where it came from. So you're confident that you've calculated enough turns and random directions for it to fly in before it just runs out of gas and crashes.
Overloads its reactor just before crashing, so it has a complete meltdown.
Okay. Yeah, so it'll rig as soon as you're running on fumes, as soon as it, gives you the empty tank icon, that reactor will overload and basically explode. And you've wiped everything. Make sure it can't be traced back. So yeah, that only takes you like an hour and a half. Is there anything else you want to do before you guys take long rest. Are you sending it out now, Chase, or are you going to send it after you've rested?
I'd probably go to the check and coordinate when it would be a good time to ditch it before I go to rest, because if we send it out too soon, then they could backfire. If we send it out too late, it could backfire. So we just need to find the proper timing.
Yeah. So if you're talking with her about it, that's essentially what she says. Yeah, there's risks to both. There's you send it out now while they're actively looking for it. They could find it, trace it back, or if you wait, it could risk them finding us in the meantime with it being here.
That's where I go. All right, give it another hour and a half to 2 hours, then we'll send it out and get rid of it. All set. It's all set, ready to fly off and burn. All you gotta do is just press that blue button.
All right. So you wait. Yeah, you wait another hour and a half, 2 hours. Nothing happens. There's no. Yeah. There's no. You don't know. There's no people trying to like bust into this hangar, nor does anyone try and like knock or. She's actively monitoring security cameras outside and surveillance outside to make sure no one followed them. And so over the next 2 hours, there's no indication that you guys were followed.
Okay. So just before I press the button, I go through and I tamper with the manual controls, just in case somebody does intercept and try to bring it down safely, to make things even worse.
Okay. What do you do to the controls?
I want to say that I just pretty much just reverse the manual controls, pretty much.
Okay.
I would just in case I try to slow it down, it'll speed up. Actually, I like just kill any and all braking procedures for the manuals.
Okay.
Because you want it to go, you want it to crash and burn. So again, that's only for the manual side. For the auto control stuff, it's fine. And then I've also had it programmed to, once we activate its autopilot, any and all remote protocols are shut down. Which means that even my ability to remotely control it is gone. And any records of like any of remote access are wiped.
Okay. And how far are you sending it out?
Wasteland.
Okay.
Like I said, it's banks and turns. Get its fuel to about like 10%. Then it overloads and crashes.
Okay. So, and you've cut off all manual controls.
All manual, and then once the autopilot's engaged, all remote as well.
Okay. All right. So she opens she looks at you. Are you ready?
I just shrug and go to ready to open the doors to let it loose.
Yep. She opens the hangar door.
Slapped the autopilot button, quickly scramble out of the craft.
All right. It takes off. See it start and head in one direction, and then it turns and heads into another direction, and turns again. You're able to see too much before it closes the hangar door back up. And About a half hour, 45 minutes later, did you go to sleep after you sent it off?
It's repairs on my kit because it was used. So it's, good operator always keeps his kit in good condition. So before I even try to sleep, I pull up tools to like clean my blaster pistol and my blades.
Okay. Yeah, you're pushing it to when Captain Render is supposed to be getting here,
Yeah.
and
No,
you getting a full rest. So you've got you'll have time to clean your kit,
yeah.
but
I don't.
after that,
It's a quick clean to make sure it's in good condition, and then that
okay,
should give me plenty of time to sleep. Because you said it was
okay.
12 hours. Overriding
It took
everything
you
took me an
an hour and
hour.
a half.
Then we waited another 2 hours after that, so that should still give me over 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 hours is the minimum for
a long rest.
For a long rest. Yeah.
Which is what I kind of do daily.
So as you wake up, you guys get a long rest with no interruptions. As you wake up, Maverick's character is still unconscious and non-responsive, but stable. And it seems there was swelling in his head, which is why he hasn't been waking up.
Concussion,
Yeah. So, but swelling start, slowly going down. It looks, she said it's been getting better, and today, as you wake up, it looks a little bit better than it was when you first saw him. So as you wake up, she walks over to you guys, specifically to you, Chaser, and hands you a data pad.
Well, I'll arch an eyebrow because I wasn't expecting it, and I just take it and start skimming through the contents.
And it's basically video and articles and news reports about this ship that was just flying around for about 30 minutes until some cartel ships basically flanked it, tried to board it, weren't able to get control of it, tried to shot it down over some barren area, tried to get inside of it, and exploded while they were inside of it, basically looking for clues. And killed like half a dozen people.
Half a dozen cartel crew. No civilian
Yeah.
casualties.
No civilian casualties.
I guess I'll just whistle and go, I guess I should put a warning on it.
So, yeah. It looks like pretty much hot thugs that were in it trying to get what any information they could, not realizing that it was rigged to blow before it was too late. And yeah, it exploded. And she just kind of gives it to you. She doesn't say anything, but she kind of grins. And looks at you and trying to see what your reaction's going to be.
Like I said, I just grinned slightly. Should have put a warning. Put the data bit down.
Chuckles and just says, "That's one way to cover your tracks."
It's effective.
Octavius, anything you want to do?
Oh, it's stretching right now.
I'm like, here's the thing. I'm surprised you haven't reached for the datapad to read the morning news.
I don't really care about the morning news. It's time to clean the rifle. I just asked an ETA on the arrival of the captain.
She says you should be getting into the system shortly. At most another hour.
Good, so I have plenty of time to clean my rifle.
Yep.
Nice. So I'm pretty much there sitting and cleaning all my weapons.
Yeah. In this case, because I haven't eaten yet, I'll reach into my rucksack or my bag and I'll just grab one of my my field rations and just eat into one of them. Unless food has been provided already.
No, she doesn't give you any food.
Not as much. Thought as much. That's why you prep to use your own stuff. Which means one field ration is gone. And that knocks my weight down from 60 to 59.
Look, Tapius, as you're cleaning your rifle, the one Wookiee walks up to you.
Mm-hmm. I'll draw my wristpad so I can translate.
And
Chaser's got a phone call.
he says, "You're a Mandalorian, aren't you?"
Oh yeah, because I dropped my disguise. So yes, I am.
Our village elders had told us about and mentioned your people in passing.
Do you like to ask me something?
What is? I told many stories that you're the most fearsome warriors in the galaxy.
We have been. Now only a handful of us are still respecting our tradition.
What are you doing on this planet?
We are searching for our family.
How did you come to find us?
We needed to leave this planet, and to doing so, we needed some money. And we think about taking the Trandoshan that stole you. So we came for him. We didn't find him, and we found you. So
Trandoshan that stole us?
No, this
Yeah.
where no, okay.
It's not a Trandoshan who took you from Kashyyyk.
It was, but there's a bunch of them.
The other ones are dead, as you could have seen, but one is still missing.
One Trandoshan.
Yeah, I think so. One Trandoshan is missing. I think the captain.
So you were going to take his ship or hire his ship?
The Wookiee is asking to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
He seems a little confused.
They had a bounty we were after.
Yeah,
You were
we
just
are
there.
after a bounty on the captain of that ship. But I think someone killed him or took him before we arrived. And that one took the ship.
Yeah, Wookiee just nods in understanding. Says, so you're trying to get to this other planet where one of your people is?
Yeah, we have we lost contact with someone of our people, so we need to speak with them. Because just like you, we lost our family.
Do you know what happened to them?
No, they just disappeared.
Yeah, the Wookiee seems like he doesn't want to pry too much. He's curious, but he's also a little nervous around you and doesn't want to pry too much.
Yeah, I know, but I don't feel to give any more information right now.
You said this to him?
No, it's like he can understand this. So it's like there is more, but I don't. I'm not feeling so much to talking about that.
He nods. And just kind of sits by in silence. Doesn't really ask or say anymore.
Um, after a couple of seconds of silence, I'll just turn to him and say, "What's your name?"
I had it. Yeah, let me pull it up. He says Bari. Barree.
Okay. But I'm sure you and all of your I think it's family for them, or it's it's a clan.
Yeah, they have.
They have their own clans and families.
Yeah.
You got a general clan with a sub-family inside of it.
Okay. I'm sure that you and the rest of your clan and your family will find a way to stay safe. We will try to talk to a captain of a ship that maybe can drop you in some safer place.
Yeah, he looks at you pretty intently and says, "Thank you."
There is no need to tank.
So as you guys are waiting, the hour almost an hour goes by, and when Miranda walks up to you, says, "Your ship is arriving momentarily." And she walks by you, walks over to the hangar, and opens up the hangar door.
Okay.
And as it's opening, you can easily make out a YT-2400 that is landing in the hangar. That is making its way towards you, and the door just opens enough for it to pull in as it flies close, and as soon as it comes in, she begins closing the hangar door again.
Okay.
The ship lands, and yeah, there's a long moment of anticipation and silence as the Wookiees stare at the ship, wondering who's aboard and what it brings. And a couple minutes later, the loading ramp to the ship opens up, and down walks this human in a pretty bulky vest and spacer uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the man is almost 2 meters tall, kind of brownish red hair, almost similar to the woman's, not quite the same, but similar.
Okay.
And Caucasian skin, and yeah, he's got these big two big shoulder pads on each of his shoulders, and he walks down, looks around, sees Miranda, and makes a beeline, and says, "Well, now that I'm here, hopefully I'll finally get this job done and get paid." And she chuckles at that and motions over to the two of you, and the two of them walk over to you.
Okay. I'll just wait to listen what he wants to say.
Okay. And he says, "I assume you're the Mandalorians I need to get to Corellia. Isn't there supposed to be 4 of you?"
We lost contact with one.
No. Occupational hazards.
Why
Well.
lie?
And the other?
Got himself into a fight and lost. He's sleeping over there. We'll drag him along as we need him.
Well, I'm getting paid to get you on the planet. One way or the other. It'd be fine to travel with him.
Yeah, we'll keep him in line.
Alright. Just so you know, I'm not sticking around to get nipped by the Imperials. This is a one-way trip. as far as I'm concerned. I'm not sticking around for extract.
That's what you were paid for.
So we have one less Mandalorian, but we have 16 more passengers. And I'll watch to. I'll move my looks from the captain to the rest of the Wookiees.
All right, are they going with you?
No, we just need to today to stay hidden in some place away from the Empire and from slavers.
Now,
They need a drop off.
Oh, all right. Out of character again. What's the name of the Mandalorian that sent us on this ship on this mission?
Cal.
Cal. All right.
Full name is Cal.
How much would the captain
Rob.
know? The captain would know. How much is the captain known by Cal?
Yeah.
All right. In that case, it's in character. I go speak up. Just get them to Cal and let him take it from there. How much extra is that gonna cost?
The planet Ordo costs that much more. Cal know they're coming.
He's aware of them, yes, and he's the one that suggested getting them somewhere safe, where else would be safer than next to him. Let him deal with it.
Well, do they have resources available to take care of themselves?
They're resourceful enough.
What I mean is, do I gotta feed them? Because I promise you, feeding 16 Wookiees isn't cheap.
How many days to the planet Ordo with Corellia then Ordo?
Well, it'd be 16 hours, Brillia, and then back to planet Ordo. It'd be about another 8 hours.
So pretty much they needs to be fitted for one day.
Yeah.
In other words, another about say two meals at the very least. So 16 and 16. That's 32 field rations.
I can do it for 2,500 credits. That includes all other expenses.
How much for our lift to Corellia?
It's already been paid for. Granted, I did have to go out of my way to pick you up.
So he said 2,500 just for
The Wookiees.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
planet Ordo, yes.
And next he'd probably want an extra 500 for the trouble he's just went to as well. So that's a good 3,000 right there. That's both of our reserves.
Wait, why 3,000?
That's how all captains operate. They won't. If something causes trouble, they charge extra. So if you and I both give him about 1,500, that'll leave me like 144, and you not much more.
Yeah, pretty
That'll
much.
leave you with like 105.
Who had the 10,000 to?
I think it was Manu.
Oh, was it?
If I remember correctly, yes.
Manu's got 1409. We kept it in a separate bag, like separate from our personal reserves. We'll just say that I had the 10,000 in my backpack. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Yeah, because we consider that a separate item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just make Manu buy stuff for us and pay him back later.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. I'll lend the 1,500.
Yeah. And then I'll give out another 1,500 plus the initial sack of 10,000. And if the captain looks curiously at the extra 500, I go, it's for the troubles.
Well, I guess this won't be such a miserable trip as I thought. My thanks.
The pay what's deserved, right?
Looks like we'll get along just fine. All right. Well, there's nothing else. Let's get everyone loaded up.
Yeah, let's go.
Alright. In that case,
Let's go grab Manu.
yeah, I holster my stuff. Grab my backpack, holster my sniper and all that stuff because it's reassembled. I go and I just pick up Manu from his bunk and just drag him one arm over the shoulder, pretty much. I leave Manu's backpack to you.
Okay.
The Wookiee's not being part of that conversation, just kind of stand there, just waiting.
Yeah, that's to you to explain to the Wookiees.
As soon as we drop the Manu's bag, I'll move back to the Wookiee and tell him the captain will escort you to our planet, to our people. They will keep you safe. And as soon as possible, they will try to move you back to Kashyyyk.
Pretty much for the first time, you've met these Wookiees. There's actually like optimism and almost hope in their eyes. They weren't really sure what was going to become of them, but at that news, their spirits definitely lifted a lot. Yeah, they start to grab the weapons they had, and
Hey, wait. Since we did the long rest, aren't we back at full health?
yes. And yeah, they begin loading onto the ship.
Alright. After I get Manu situated on the bunk, I'll grab I'll flip open my wrist pad and I'll send an encrypted message to Cal, letting him know that we've made contact with the captain and we've also secured transportation to get the Wookiees over to him. And that I even sent in a recommendation, use them for like maintenance on vessels and stuff till we can get them someplace safe.
Yeah, as you're getting him up on the ship, see a droid there, and the droid says, "You could place him in the med bay."
Okay.
Referencing to Manu.
Yeah. Well, I just nod in understanding and drag his sleepy ass there. Nothing but trouble, even whenever he was a kid.
Yeah, and the Wookiees basically make their way to the ship, to the common area, and just kind of find places to sit, trying to just stay out of the way in the common area. Both of you are on the ship. Yes.
Yeah, I'm around the ship. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the ship because I dragged Manu's ass to medbay. So
Okay. A couple more minutes go by before Captain gets back up on the ship. Addresses everyone in the common area. Says, Captain Rendar, my ship. I expect everyone to keep to themselves, be able to attend to themselves. This isn't a luxury liner. So, eat food. Food is in the he points and he starts pointing out the different areas of where you can go and where you can't go. He basically says stay out of the captain quarters, first mate quarters, out of the cargo bay,
engineering,
and and out of engineering and the turret, upper and lower turret bays. Says if you need me, you can find me in the cockpit. And before anyone has a chance to ask him any questions or anything, he makes his way, makes a beeline to the cockpit. And moments later, feel the ship lift off the ground and out into space.
Okay.
Good.
Now, what about the spy chick?
What?
The spy chick that backed us up. She stayed there.
Miranda.
Yeah, Miranda.
Yeah, she stayed there.
Okay.
That was her safe house. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it short today, guys. We could play next week for sure.
I think we maybe need to change day because next week I'm going to be on train.
Okay.
Tuesday, so I will write the days that I'm free.
Okay. Yeah, we'll find a free day and time.
Yeah, maybe on Friday. I think Friday is going to be
I'm gonna have to keep things on his swivel because my boss is quitting this on his last day is the 22nd. So him quitting, I'm not sure how it's gonna affect me.
Okay.
I think most of next week I'm gonna be free. I think I have a test next week. I don't know if it's next week or the week after. I think it might be the week after, but I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah, we'll just post our availability on the Discord.
Yeah, but I think Friday will work for me. But yeah, I'll keep in communication. Yes. And we're really gonna get into it next session.